This is Terrence Kyle with MTAC Roofing Systems doing a roof inspection for Orlando. The first thing I'm looking for is basically looking at the area where the leak is coming from. So what I did is, just like I was telling you, there was some old sealing up here. You can tell the dry crack sealing right here. What I did is I sealed directly over it and kind of just smushed it into the cracks. I'm praying and I'm hoping that this was the problem. However, even if it is the problem, this little bead of sealant is only going to last for temporary time. I would say sealant only lasts for about 1 to 2 years. I also sealed this shingle. This is where two shingles meet. So sealed that. So I'm hoping, I think this is exactly where the leak was. And of course I sealed up that bottom side as well. While I was up here, I looked at the overall condition of the roof. Is there any damage up here? Is there any deterioration? And right off the bat, you're starting to see a lot of granule loss. And what a shingle is made up of is you got granules, you got asphalt, and then what you can see right here is fiberglass. So once you start seeing that fiberglass, generally telltale signs that the roof is getting to the end of its life expectancy. And I also looked over the shingle as well on the front slope, right slope, back slope, and the left slope. And after reviewing all those slopes, on the front slope, I did see some damage up here. These are pieces of lamination. This is the bottom shingle right here. And what happens is wind blows up and eventually would damage these shingles. You didn't have a whole lot on the front slope. I think you had right around 16 shingles that have lamination blown up. And I don't know if this is because they repaired these shingles right here. However, I do know that these are damaged shingles. Anything that I've marked up as damaged shingles, again, right there. You don't got a whole lot on any other slope because wind is going to come from this way. And this is the most brittle slope on the roof. You can see the granule loss. It'll generally start at the top and then it'll start wearing down this shingle at the bottom right here. You start seeing the fibers. While I was up here, I also checked for any hail damage. Now, I can't be 100% if this is old or new hail damage. I know it hasn't hailed in the area recently, but you can see all the little ding marks that I've marked up. And once I put a little circle of chalk around it, it really shows you how many spots are up here and what they look like. When I check for hail, I'm checking to see if this spot right here is softer than just the shingle in general. And it does seem to be just a little softer. Like I said, can't be 100% sure if it is hail or when that hail hit. But to me, I mean, I marked up right around 10 little circle spots right here, and it does seem to be hail. Again, anything that I've marked up, you got blown lamination, and it almost seems like the last person who did repairs on your roof actually sealed some of these damaged shingles down. Like this one right here was damaged at one point. Almost seems like they sealed it down. And there's a couple down there, a couple right there. All around where they're repaired. You got cracking ridge. This is telltale signs again that roof is getting to the age to where it's almost at the end of its life expectancy. Stuff like that I'll mark up. This is a rusted nail pop, and what happens is they start to rust and they start to pull out due to temperature change, and now you got an exposed hole. Before I leave today, I'll seal that up, just make sure it's not leaking. Got a couple wind crease shingles down here. On the left slope, you do have what I believe to be hail. You can see it right there. Right there. Just little spots. And I put +10, no wind damage on this slope. Again, super deteriorated ridge and hip shingles. More exposed nail heads. And then on the back slope, I looked at this whole slope. You don't have any wind damage, but I did notice that you have a couple ding marks on the back right side here. If the hail came, it probably came from this way, and that's why you would only see little marks right here. Another thing I'll do is I'll chalk up any soft metal, and it was probably smaller hail that hit this roof. This is a pretty firm piece of metal here, so you may see some little small dings. May not see a whole lot, but stuff like that. I mean, super small dings. Like I said, this piece of metal is pretty hard. This harder piece of metal as well, so can't really see a whole lot on the soft metal, which indicates that it wasn't big hail. But you are starting to see rust around these, and the nail heads are still sealed. That's a good thing. But on this one, you're starting to see that they're backing out. This thing's starting to lift up. Water could potentially get under there. It's not usual, but it could happen. Then while I'm up here, I looked at your siding. The cricket seems to be okay. Siding seems to be good. It is touching, but it's not getting frayed out just yet, so that's good. Corner boards, not in the best condition, but they are in good condition. Your gutters, you said they were 3 years old, so gutters are looking good. All your valleys were overlaid correctly. I would say the biggest problem is, you got all these spots up here that have been sealed, which does strike a concern. You got fiberglass showing, which indicates that the roof is getting to the age where you're gonna start seeing bigger problems, stuff like that right there. Sealed nail heads, now these are sealed at the moment. This looks like a repair that was done recently, maybe within the last 5 to 6 years. And then the right slope, no damage on this slope. Like I said, this is the north slope. As far as all the other places on the roof, you're starting to see the same type of stuff. A lot of granule loss, and you can see how it starts getting a little black, and then you'll see good shingles, and then you'll see some black shingles. That's just where granules start coming off, and eventually it'll start getting down to that fiberglass like you're seeing right there. Orlando, this is a long inspection, but I'll get down, show you this video, and we'll go from there.